we've seen that development in Russia, specifically the military development in Russia around our borders, already at least for last 5 years. There have been increased number of exercises. There have been growing military capabilities. Let's say just 5 years ago, they reopened, I have to say, helicopter base just 37 kilometers from our border. And now it's fully refurbished and equipped with helicopters. I can tell you that in 2013, when Russians had the upper exercise around our borders, and that was a huge exercise with big numbers, running around 100,000 soldiers engaged, then nobody really in NATO took it seriously, because everybody thought that Russia is a friend. Look on numbers. If you compare numbers, 1,000 Canadian-led troops in Latvia, and then it's 4,000 together. If Russians are afraid of 3 battalions, it's a little bit funny, because on the other side we have divisions and armies facing us. But it makes a lot of, in deterrence, deployment of Canadian and British and German-led battalions in the Baltics and American troops in Poland is basically manifestation of alliance commitment and of alliance commitment to defend its territory. We've never talked about offensive actions. If you look, on Russian rhetorics, well, come on. Always you hear, if we do something, you will become our target. Well, I assume we are already targets. Simply, every time when NATO decides to do something, Russians again say that we will become targets. However, NATO said that we have targets in Russia. No, of course, because we are not planning offensive operations, but Russia apparently does, and when always we hear those statements that because of NATO we will deploy, for example, Iskander missiles. Well, if you could follow all those things permanently, that you will find that Russians already announced at least 3 years ago that they will deploy Iskander missiles to Kaliningrad. And it's something that they've been planning already for a long time. It's not something that they're doing because of NATO. But what the mission is about is to be present, to integrate forces, because of course they are our forces, and we raising readiness of our forces, developing, and what is important that there is this allied presence, and that the presence is military meaningful. It means that it has integrated with our national or Estonian or Lithuanian forces, but also has a prudent command and control system, which if needed, can be exercised. We very much appreciate what Canada is doing, because you will take leadership, and there will be many nations who will join Canadian-led battalion. I think the military planning is most important. Is not to win a war, but in military planning is most important is avoid war. But we are ready to protect ourselves if it's needed, and therefore, I sometimes when foreign journalists visit us and they're surprised that we are not already in state of war. No, we are peaceful. We're not working with weapons on streets. We still peaceful country, and everything is going as normal. But we of course want to remain such, and we want to enjoy peace. and therefore we need to take some steps, and we're taking many steps in when it comes to our national defense, and decisions taken in last summit with and we're very grateful for Canada for taking up taking up leadership of this informing battalion in Latvia is very appreciated.